find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Hay deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Coming down to the side. He had it. He's going to get it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening and welcome back to the LSRL F1 Lightspeed Racing League Recruitment Race live from Spa. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth tonight. We've got a little bit something different lined up for you. We've got myself, Michael, David and Daniel Porras Jr. will be joining us here as well for this 20 turns, 7.004 kilometers, 4.352 miles of what can only be described as an absolute classic circuit. Everyone loves Spa. I love Spa. I think even me and Michael can even agree on a circuit that we actually love this evening, and it is, of course, Spa Francorchamps. Corners such as El Rouge, Radion and Kemmel. Then we go into Lacombe, and of course, let's not forget the Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. Rounding off our lap, we've got 13 drivers taking part here this evening, and one that I think is going to be an absolute classic. We've got the return of Nathan Graham, the return of Matt Miller. Are they going to put the new guns of Adam Merchant and Aidan Young under pressure this evening? Well, time's going to be telling, but let's find out how the guys are here this evening. Michael, good evening to you, sir. How are you doing? Mate, I'm really well, considering I am super duper, to be honest with you. Hey, that's progress, mate. Progress. No, 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, it should be good here, guys. We've got two 20-minute races with a 15-minute quali. Full reverse grid on race 2 as well. So, Daniel, how are you doing? Dan, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How are you, sir?
I am doing very well, and thanks for having me tonight.
No worries. It should be an absolutely good one. Thank you for joining us for what is going to be a classic circuit here at Spa as well, and one that I think we can all agree on is going to be absolutely amazing. Times on the board currently are 1:41.547 from Adam Merchant with Aidan Young, Nathan Graham behind him as well. Jay Smart, welcome in, chat. Thank you so much for that. Not entirely sure why it didn't decide to unmute Michael, unfortunately. So, Michael, you may have been muted for that beginning bit.
I think that's what happened last week too. I think it just doesn't seem to like me too much, and it keeps muting me every time I come in. But hopefully you guys can hear me now. Basically, I was just trying to say that I absolutely love this track. I'm excited to see what these drivers decide to do when it comes to, you know, their tire choice. But the more intriguing thing to me when it comes to Spot is, do you choose to go fast on the long straights, or do you choose to attack that middle sector? You can go one of two ways. They both give around about the same kind of sort of lap time, but it's more of just a setup. Do you choose a more higher downforce for that middle setup or that middle sector, or do you go for the high speed straights and just try to floor it past everybody?
Well, I think that's going to be what the problem is as well, is obviously setup-wise, regarding that rear wing, front wing, you know, you've got to be looking at what's going to be best in your capabilities, right? Spa isn't very tight. You've only got Rivage, the bus stop, and La Source. They're the only three corners on here that are going to cause you any single problem on the track in the way of tightness, okay? So you basically want to be looking at the fact that in an ideal world, you just run skinny wing. You can cope with Rivage, you can cope with the bus stop, you can cope with La Source. But I think overall they've got to be on a low downforce setup. I think would be best, I think, here in these W12s as well. So it's something that we can look out for as the evening goes on as well. Daniel, what do you think is, you know, you're looking out for tonight as well? 2 20-minute races. You know, I know first time on W12s and F1, so it's going to be an interesting one for you to get accustomed to. But what are you looking forward to the most?
What I'm looking forward to the most is this start of the race, seeing the drivers be side by side, seeing who can get that good acceleration off each corner. And the one thing you don't want to do is send it in too deep, because if you do, you're going to wreck the field.
Yeah, definitely on that one. It's going to be a tough one, and one that they have got a very tight right-hander as well at the source as well. Jay, how are you getting on anyway, bud? We're looking forward to having you back, man. I can't wait to see you back on track again. Hopefully you'll be back for the start of the season. Should be good. You've got your work cut out with some of these young guns here as well. 13-and-a-half-year-old Aiden Young, flying currently from the Fiercely Forward team. He is currently sat in second place, Jay. It's going to be tougher when you come back, mate. I'm not going to lie. You know, you're going to have to get on it, mate, because these guys are going to be flying here as well. We've got Ryan Pendleton in here as well. Ryan joining us as well for this evening's race as well. So I think it's going to be one that I'm going to be looking forward to. One that's going to be good. Michael, where are we looking at the hot spots? Where are we looking at the dangers? What do we think is going to be the main flashpoints here at Spa?
Well, obviously, like Daniel said, the beginning of the race, coming into La Source, having a clean first start to the race, coming through that first turn. But absolutely, Erosion Redelia, that can make or break a lap. It can make or break a race. If you get loose coming up the hill, you're going to lose the tail end. You're going to go into the wall at 200 miles an hour. You got to be careful there. But you also have to be wise, because there's going to be people that are going to be trying to catch your draft and try to make a move at the end of that Kimmel Straight. So you got to be careful through there. I think that's the most important part. That and coming through Blanchimont. We've seen some incidents on the first race and a couple different races here in the past where somebody on the first lap gets a little wide coming through Blanchimont on cold tires, and it has definitely caused issues before. So I think people got to be really careful on that first lap, but I'm really excited to see what kind of moves can be made down the Kimmel Straight and into Lacombe.
Oh, and there you go. Ryan Pendleton showing us not what to do coming out of the bus stop there. Unfortunately for him, he don't want to be doing that, because that's unfortunate. One of the, how can I put it, the problems of the W12, when you put too many beans through your right foot, the rear end does spin up here as well. And I think overall, it's looking like the soft tyres should be favoured here. I don't think there's any reason for them to take the mediums. I think they can do 20 minutes on the softs in general with a 141 lap. I can't see that being a problem, to be honest. I think it's going to be an interesting one as well. But, you know, I think overall we are in for some great racing. Don't forget, we have got a full reverse on race 2, okay? So it's a full reverse grid. So if Adam Merchant wins on a 141.547, which he's doing now, he will be at the back of the field. So that's going to bring a bit of extra space going forward. Obviously, the format for the season will be, as we have done previously, qualifying 3-lap sprint. Then we go into a brief 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll do a lapped race. Normally, give or take, depending on how they go, there is a pit stop involved in that one as well, and they will go generally for about 30 odd laps depending on the circuit itself, but that will all be sorted out before the season starts. Oh, Liam Kerr, that is not how to take Rivage. We can have a quick look back and see what he did. He come out of Marmody on the gravel. Spun the back end. Ooh. Well, Dan, that's not what we want to see this evening.
No, it is not. And like you mentioned earlier about the rear, like if you overpower the turn and you go over those rubble strips, that rear is going to lift off the ground. And that's going to send you spinning around. So that is one thing you're going to want to try to avoid here tonight at Spa Circuit. And another thing is some of these drivers need to get good qualifying runs because it is kind of hard to get through the field.
Yeah, it definitely will be. They want to try and get it out on pole or near the front. I would have thought, Michael, that's probably going to be the best place to start.
Yeah, definitely, except for the fact that last week we had the exact reverse order on the podium for both races. So that was definitely exciting to see these drivers moving up through the field. But I think, like you said, it's going to be really important to get a couple fast laps in early to start at the front of the field. And that second race is just going to be even more challenging coming back through the field.
Yeah, it is. We're underway in qualifying now. So we will have 15 minutes of quali for these drivers. Matt Miller is back on track. I can't wait to see what Matt does. And also Nathan Graham as well. Can he put pressure on the likes of Aiden Young and Adam Merchant? This is going to be an interesting one with some of the fast old guns against the fast new ones. Let us know in chat who you think is going to take pole position. Is it going to be Merchant after his flying in practice? Is it going to be Aiden Young, or is Nathan Graham or Mac Miller going to get pole position away from these guys? It's going to be a difficult one, but overall I think they've got to be looking at the low 141s, maybe early 42s to be up the front end of the grid. But we will find out very, very shortly who is going to be taking pole. Right, gentlemen, it's that time of the evening again where we turn around and I say to you, let's start with you, Michael. Who's going to win the first race?
I think Adam Merchant. I think he's just super quick. He showed that last week, and he's already put in a stellar fast lap in practice. I think it's going to be Aiden Young trying to keep him honest, but Adam Merchant by far.
All right, Dan, I know you've only just joined us this evening, so pick somebody completely random who you think's going to win.
Well, I've been keeping my eyes on Nathan Graham so far. He's been doing really good. I've been watching him take a few laps here. He looks pretty fast, so I'm going to keep it on Nathan Graham. I think he can get it done here tonight.
Well, there you go. I agree. I have, however, gone for the returning Matt Miller. I think Matt is super quick in this car, and I'm hoping that he is going to do it. Michael just picked the fastest guy in practice. Do you know what I mean? That's all it was. Adam was.
It was also he was one of the fastest guys last week too.
Yeah, I know, but
we saw him on track. We saw how quick he is. He came through the field and won the race by what, 10 seconds?
Yeah, well, he's
something ridiculous like that at Silverstone.
All right, you picked the winner. That was it. You know what I mean? It's like picking the favourite in the Grand National, you know, or a horse race, I should say. I don't know if you know what the Grand National is in the US. But
I do, but I'm actually a little surprised that you didn't take Aiden Young. I would have put money on the fact that you would have taken Aiden Young.
No, it's only because Mac's come back. I think if Mac wasn't here, then I would have gone for Aiden Young. But I've got a funny feeling Mac's going to be up there. And I've seen Mac before. He's super quick. But, you know, I think it's going to be interesting. You know, if they had a point system currently at the moment through this recruitment race, after race one, Adam Merchant is leading the way on 32 with Aiden Young and Liam Kerr tied on 30. Then Ricardo Serrano on 26, Carl Halitsky 22, Thomas Boniadi on 22. Elliot Borg, who is not here, on 21. Anthony Giuliano on 19. Josh Toothman on 16. James McHugh on 13. And Steve Rubens on 13 as well. Steve is here again once more on track. Steve is providing us with a lovely little picture-in-picture. There he is in his rig, sitting in his summertime shorts and t-shirt, looking all dapper on his ultra-wide monitor there. So well done, Steve Rubens. Thank you so much for providing us these pictures as he's precariously going up through El Rouge and Radio, maybe on an outlap there as well. So we will check in with Steve as the race goes on as well. I think that was the thing, Michael. Last time at Silverstone, we saw Ricardo Serrano, who was quick, but he was just making mistakes. And I think he was doing it in a way that basically where he was speeding along and he had pace and he should have been further up. But those mistakes cost him. And I think maybe consistency from Ricardo Serrano might need to be the key if he's going to move up here.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of speed last week. He started in the back of field, moved all the way up, made a mistake, had to come back through the field again. I think the biggest mistake that he made was staying on the mediums, though. He was the only one in the second race that stayed on the mediums. That kind of confused me quite a bit. I see him, obviously, tonight. He looks like he's taking the softs, because everybody's taking the softs. Maybe they all learned their lesson from last week. But, yeah, he's definitely got the pace. He's got the speed. But the consistency, like you said, is going to be a key here tonight at Spa to see what he's able to do. And we'll just have to wait to see what his qualifying lap is going to be and just kind of go from there. Looks like Aiden Young is not having a great lap here. I know he had an off in the first lap. So this is going to be challenging for these drivers to not only get a fast time in, but to get a decent lap time in just under your belt just to get that confidence down.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, qualifying where it is going to be so important. I think they have just got to sit back and try and get we rely on the initial banker lap. And I think that's the thing, that, they've got to get a banker on the board, and I think they've got to try and basically be able to do this in a way where they can get out near the front, use that banker lap of the 141.5s, which Merchant's got at the moment, and then try and move up from there. But I think race pace, we are looking at a different scenario with some of these guys as well. I think Matt Miller, Graham, Young, Merchant, I think they're going to be in the top four, and just not entirely sure of what order they're going to be in. But I think that's going to be the top four, and that isn't any disrespect to anybody else. Don't sit here and think, oh, James is going to be the because I'm not. What I'm saying is of previous experience with them, they are going to be quick. And I think, we can safely say that will be the order here as well. But, off on qualifying now, Dan, and I think they've got to just try and get a lap on the board, sit back, relax, and then go again for the next flyer.
That's what they're going to have to end up doing there. I would just say, just keep running your laps, see where you're at, and then wherever you start in a race is where you start, and you're just going to have to try to figure out your line there and hopefully make your way up to the front and not struggle.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an important factor here, is not struggling, and unfortunately Serrano going out onto the kitty litter there is not going to work. That ain't... No, that's not going to work either. Definitely not there for Serrano, and that's what we were talking about, Michael, that consistency from Ricardo. He's got to try and get that under control, because he's blissfully quick, but he also blissfully makes mistakes.
No, he definitely makes quite a few mistakes. We saw that last week. Just want to point out Adam Merchant going purple to start off his current lap, so that's definitely going to be interesting, something we'll have to keep an eye on here.
We're on board
now. Yeah, no, Serrano, yep. Serrano, we need to actually he needs to calm down. He needs to get out of his own head. We know he has the speed, but sometimes those mistakes just kind of pile up. As a race car driver, you have to have a very short memory when it comes to mistakes. You have to forget about it, learn from your mistake, and forget about it completely. It seems like he's kind of letting things kind of hold on a little bit too much, but he doesn't have that bank lap in. Luckily for these drivers, they don't have to worry about red flags like they do in the real F1 series. That's why the bank lap is so important in real life. But, I mean, we're 8 minutes into this qualifying, and Serrano doesn't have a lap on the board yet, so that's going to be tough. So we see Adam Merchant come through here. He went 3 purples and a couple oranges. He was able to improve, so that middle sector wasn't great, but the first and last sector were absolutely phenomenal. So we see 4 drivers now in the 41s, and Liam Kerr just outside of that with the 42.01.
Yeah, but he did a blissfully flyer as well last week, Michael, if I remember correctly, didn't he? Liam Kerr was blissfully quick. We're just waiting to see what Grigor Georgiev does here as he goes over the line as well. He's got greens across the board currently at the moment. He's improving on his 44. He goes 43. He jumps up 1 place against Steve Rubens. Liam Kerr was an absolute flying as well. I can't wait to see this season get underway. I think with all of these guys on track at the same time, the likes of Young, Graham, McMillan, Kerr, Merchant, Smart, Borg, Giuliano, it's going to be one epic season, and I think one that we are going to be blissfully enjoying here. I think we're going to be spoiled as it goes on here as well. But I think this is going to be an absolutely banging season this year as well. So don't forget, guys, if you want to get yourselves involved, all links are down in the YouTube description below. You can just click on the link and come in and have a chat with the guys in here as well. I'm sure you can reach out to Dylan or Elliot or Anthony, any of the admins and league owners, and they will have a conversation with you about where you're at as well. Daniel, you ever fancy driving a W12?
I have not.
Never thought, you want to give it a go?
I think I'm good right now.
These cars are a different entity. I don't know. Michael, you've been round in one.
Oh yeah, I've definitely given the W12 a few runs. Not as much as I'd like to, but yeah, it's definitely a challenging car to learn. Once you get fast in it, though, it feels like it fits like a glove. So it's definitely an exciting car. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, though. If you make a mistake, it lets you know, because all of a sudden you're seeing the rear end of your car in front of you where it should be behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
doing a nice little pirouette.
Yeah, definitely. I think, though, right, the thing is with these, if I was to jump on controller with F1 22, I'd be fast, right? Because that's what I've always driven with F1. I've jumped on a controller. I've taken a W12 out a couple of times on the steering wheel, and I just, my poor little old brain that's, on the upper echelons of 40 plus at the moment, just can't seem to cope with the speed in this car. It's going to be absolutely, it just doesn't quite work out. But give me a controller in F122 and I'm flying. Give me a steering wheel, iRacing and a W12, Michael, and it just goes completely wrong.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem that you're having there is you're comparing two different types of I want to word this correctly so I don't get chewed out here in the chat, but
just call it a game.
Yeah. Okay, so one is definitely more arcadey than the other. So yeah, it's definitely going to be. I agree. If I'm playing F122, I do like using a controller. It kind of reminds me of like if I decide I want to jump on Forza Horizon. I'm not going to use my wheel for that. I'm going to use a controller because it's an arcade game. It feels awkward on a wheel, but in a sim like iRacing or ACC or Dirt or anything that's like way more hardcore like that, you definitely have to get used to driving with the pedals and the wheel, and it's just a completely different driving style. It's a completely different way to think about it. So I agree. I think I'm obviously a lot quicker with a controller on F22. I refuse to ever give a controller a try on iRacing though. So yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. Daniel, what about you? Have you ever driven F1 2022?
I have done that before. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a stock car driver on iRacing, and now I am retired, and I do broadcasting on many different series. And I did handle a Formula One car, and it is very different to a stock car where you're just going around ovals and some road courses. But with Formula One, it's way much faster, and you have to have good reflexes to make those turns because they come very fast. So it's a very different setup, and it is a very different game as you're playing, and very challenging.
Okay, well, don't roast him yet, chat. He did just call it a game. I did hear it. F1 22, as we have said.
Oh, like you're one to talk.
Oh, mate.
Like you're one to talk.
Look, I don't care. Like, I talk, as you know, right? We talk about racing. I talk about racing every single week, right? That's probably where my lack of driving.
That was a big shunt.
Yeah, Nathan Graham losing wheels there, unfortunately for him. But I think overall, they've got to be looking at the fact that we do call it a sim. Some commentators call it a game. Some commentators call it a sim. Some sit back and say we're going to drive around in a game. Others talk about driving around in a sim. It's something that will always be a contentious decision for people, and I think it's always going to be that way, Michael. I don't think it's ever going to change on the situation. We've got about a minute left of practice at the moment. We've got Merchant up in front. But it is always going to be the same thing. It's either going to be a game or it's going to be a sim. Some people call it a game. Some people are going to call it a sim. I don't think that's ever going to change, Michael, to be honest.
No, I completely agree with you. And I think the only thing that's going to change is the titles. As we get new releases and new titles coming through every year, different titles are going to be considered sims, where others are going to be considered, games, arcade, simcade, whatever you want to call it. Like the new Forza Motorsport that's coming out. Is that going to be a sim? Is that going to be more arcadey? I don't know. Forza Motorsport kind of It can be considered both, I guess, depending on how you look at it. I would consider it a more of a simcade, arcade type, but I know there's people out there that would definitely consider it a simulator. So I think the only thing that's going to change in that argument is what titles you're arguing about. Now, I do want to go back to Daniel. What he was saying is he's a lot more comfortable in a NASCAR, a stock car. Coming from a different perspective, there's such a difference between, obviously, the downforce between the two as we come to the end of qualifying. I just wanted to point that out. The downforce in a stock car, as we know, is nothing compared to the downforce that we have here in a F1 car.
Yeah, definitely. The grid is up now. Adam Merchant is in pole. Matt Miller second. Aiden Young third. Nathan Graham fourth. Liam Kerr fifth. Ricardo Serrano sixth. Matthew Malios Jr. in seventh. Ryan Pendleton eighth. Troy Banks ninth. Grigel Georgiev 10th. Steve Rubens 11th. Anthony Giuliano is down in 12th. Then beyond that, we've got Kyle Halitsky, the final man on the circuit, in 13th currently at the moment. Adam Merchant on pole, as we thought he was going to be. Looking racy, but my boy Matt Miller's up there. He's sitting in second at the moment as well. Everybody on the soft. I think they learned from Silverstone that there is no need to take the, how can I put it? No need to take the medium tyres. I think.
Well, as you say that, I see two drivers going up Serrano to switch back.
Yeah, Troy Banks. All right, give up. As we're having a look at Merchant's car here, Troy Banks jumped out on the mediums. But I don't think there's going to be any need. I think he will look at changing over here as well. Just waiting for the last guys to get on to the grid. They've got about 45 seconds here as well. We've got Matt Miller, Aiden Young, Liam Kerr, Matthew Malios, Ryan Pendleton, Stephen Rubens, Anthony Giuliano and Carl Halitsky. Let us know in chat, guys, what do you call it? Do you call it a game? Do you call it a simulator? Either way, let's keep it respectful, because, you know, we don't want no full-on arguments here. But I think for one, it's I don't really know what way I'm going to turn around and say here, but I think it's more of a gamey than a real life, but you know, that's just me. Anyway, enough of that, moving on. Here we go, the lights are going to be coming on soon. Carl Halitsky has not made the start. I presume he's going to start in the pits. 4 lights, 5 lights, we're green, and away we go. Miller has made a start there as well. Not as good as Nathan Graham. Nathan Graham got an absolute flyer going down into turn 1. Adam Merchant out in front currently at the moment. No issues at the back. Troy Banks made it through as well. As we go on this first run through El Rouge Radium, Nathan Graham at the back end of Adam Merchant now. Up through El Rouge Radion, onto the Camel Straight we go, and it is Nathan Graham, Matt Miller, Merchant. Miller's pulled out to the left-hand side, going through Lacombe. Everybody made it through cleanly currently at the moment, Michael as well, and Matt Miller's sweet right the outside of Nathan Graham on the back of Adam Merchant now. I told you he's going to be quick.
No, that dude is definitely fast. I do want to point out, Aiden Young had a horrible start. Liam Kerr, I think it was Liam Kerr, had to move out of the way completely just to avoid from hitting him, but he's all the way back in 6th place after starting in 3rd. So horrible start there from Aiden Young. We'll see how well he's able to move back up the field, but great start there by Nathan Graham. Was able to get up into 2nd place, but Mac Miller just showing how quick he is in this F1, the W12. Able to just really just fly by him like he was sitting still, and there's a little contact there, it looks like. That is Matthew Malios.
Yeah, Malios in the wall there as well. There was slight contact with Aiden Young. You can have a look back and see now, but if you have a look, Aiden Young's all out of shape. He doesn't actually touch.
No, there was no contact.
No.
Overcooked the turn.
Yeah, he went in a little bit too hot, I think, there as well, unfortunately for him. But it is back up front, Adam Merchant, Matt Miller, Nathan Graham. Everybody through cleanly down as we come round for the lap 1 there, bud. You know, not a bad start at all. Okay, so Adam Merchant, Matt Miller, Liam Kerr, and Nathan Graham moving through the order currently at the moment. The gaps are there on your left-hand side, as you can see there as well. The gainers and losers right next, up 1 for most, down 3 for Aiden Young. Got an absolute horrible start, Daniel, and I think he's going to be fighting his way back through the order.
The front of the field is doing really fine right now, but it's towards the back of the field that these drivers are now starting to fall off from that. I think these drivers are going to have to try to find their line, try to go find it quick in order for them to get up there, because this race is going to go by fast. And as you see right now, they are just losing the draft at this point.
Yeah, definitely there. Adam Merchant, Matt Miller, Nathan Graham out in front, Ricardo Serrano fourth, Liam Kerr fifth, Aidan Young in sixth place, Ryan Pendleton, Grigor Georgiev behind that. There is Steve Rubens down in ninth, Troy Banks in 10th, Carl Halitsky is not out on the grid. Anthony Giuliano and Malios have jumped into the pits. What did Giuliano get up to? Well, he got up to this in Lacoon. Now, I will give you a little insight into this, right? We were talking in chat before. I was watching Anthony in practice, and out of the laps that I saw, he did not once nail Lacoon there, Michael. And it's an important turn on this track.
Yeah, especially early when you got cold tires, you got to be very careful with finding your braking point. That's one of the highest speeds that you'll ever get in one of these F1 cars, is coming down the Kemmel Straight into Lacombe. You got to be very careful. You got to spot your braking point, and you got to spot that exit, because it's a bit of a little chicane there. So you have to be careful coming in the first part of it, because you have to spot the exit, get to the inside of the corner to make the apex for the second part of the chicane to bring you out down the straight into the hairpin there. But yeah, definitely a tough challenge. If you can't nail that, then you're going to have a long race. And we see Giuliano is in the pits. Matthew Malios out from pit exit, so he was able to get back to the pits. It looks like he probably towed back to the pits. I would assume that front axle was gone, and then used his fast repair. So it's good to see him back out 2 laps down, but I'm sure he's just going to be trying to do what he can here to kind of recuperate. I'm a little surprised that Kyle Herlitzky didn't go out tonight. I was kind of excited to see what he was going to do tonight here at Spa. We know he's quick, so I'm a little bummed. And I also want to know what happened to Troy Banks. I'm showing him as out on my screen. So did we miss something with Troy?
No, we didn't miss anything. I think Troy missed the track. Going down into La Source, runs in deep, and then stops the car. So that was basically it here as well. We're going to have a look at the start from Aidan Young's perspective here, and what actually happened to Aidan. He's sitting currently in third place. He just bogs down in the second phase of the start, tries to get up and running again, and then he gets bullied out at La Source from Serrano, tries to go around the outside as well. Aidan Young did not have a good start here at all. He bogged down in that second phase of the start. He didn't go anywhere, and Serrano runs him too wide up through El Rouge and Radion, and I think he's going to lose another place on the run down into Lacoon. There's Matt Miller's move over Nathan Graham at the front of the field as well, as he sweeps around the outside. But these did not get away at the start there for Aidan Young, and an absolute terrible first race for him, down in 9th place currently at the moment. Ricardo Serrano is got Leon Kerr behind him still. He hung on there as well. Nathan Graham's wide open with DRS. Matt Miller's got DRS as well, trying to make a move on Merchant. Nothing doing at the moment for Matt Miller, but he is certainly trying here, Michael, and he's pushing him all the way.
Yeah, he's got that DRS wing wide open, and he is definitely, him and Nathan Graham are both keeping Adam Merchant, honest tonight. Last week in the second race, he was able to just kind of cruise to victory. He didn't have to break a sweat at all at Silverstone. This week, he's having a hard time just doing whatever he can to keep himself out in front now. He's doing a great job of it. We know he's fast, obviously, but these guys up front here are definitely a lot quicker than your average driver, and it shows. With Mac Miller here, just able to just keep within that touch, keep within that DRS range. Now here through the second part of the track, through that second here, it looks like Adam Merchant is gaining a little bit, but when they come to the straight here, down into Blanchimont, it looks like the DRS is really helping Mac Miller out.
Yeah, he is closing back up his four temps back at the moment, going into the bus stop, and Matt Miller is, he's just running he's just running a little bit too hot. He's lost a bit of time. He's 1 second. He's outside of DRS. He's spinning up the back wheels as well. He's trying to get away from Nathan Graham. It's going to be difficult for him now on that run through El Rouge and Radion. He's got no DRS. His DRS will not be activated. You can't see the lights on the front of the steering wheel. The left-hand lights will light up green on the steering wheel below when he goes into the DRS zone. He's about 1.1 back at the moment. He has not got DRS, but we go on to Nathan Graham. Wide open, 4 lights. Graham's running DRS down into the scene to Lacombe, and Graham is through. Now he's going to set after Adam Merchant. Can he get the gap down below a second? Can he save himself there, Daniel, by getting into that DRS zone? Because that's certainly going to help him keep up from Matt Miller.
And that DRS zone is your key goal to catch up to the driver. And you want to use that draft as much as possible, and when that wing goes up and they use the DRS, that is going to be your advantage point to catch up to the other driver in front of you. So that's going to be the strong suit for one of these drivers here, like Nathan Graham, and that's where he's going to want to try to pull in Merchant. As you see, he is currently in first still, but look at second place, still gaining by a lot.
He's closing the gap down ever so slightly. Here is Nathan Graham with Adam Merchant out in front. Matt Miller again there sitting behind him, currently flying along down Blanchimont. Liam Kerr in 4th, Serrano in 5th. Kerr did manage to get past Serrano, job done for him, and he's now on his way trying to get hold of Matt Miller, who's a little bit far back. Ryan Pendleton and Grigor Georgiev fighting out here. Michael down in 6th and 7th, coming down into the bus stop now. Can Pendleton get Georgiev? It's going to be difficult. Oh!
Somebody missed their breaking point. I'm not sure if it was Ryan Pendleton broke late or if it was Gregor Georgiev broke early, but that was very, very, very uncomfortable to say the least. That was a big hit.
Yeah, well, let's have a look now. Obviously, we haven't got any brake lights. It's not a GT3, so we can see.
Oh, Ryan broke way too late.
Yeah, I think, well, Ryan might come back and say Georgiev broke early. It's going to be, it's going to be half of one, 6 a dozen of the other here. So, oh, it's got round!
There you go. How did Mac Miller get in front of Nathan Graham? We missed that.
No, Miller's still behind. Miller's up. Kerr got in front. Nathan Graham.
Oh, wow.
I think that was Miller spinning, I think. Yeah, he is.
Miller got back in front of Nathan Graham there.
Yeah, Miller, and he lost the place to Serrano and Kerr there. And poor Matt Miller, unfortunately, got on too many beans on the right foot there, Daniel, I think, and that's the problem with it.
And that is going to be a problem throughout the night here, like you mentioned there, James. And I don't know what's going on with these drivers, but they know that time is winding down. Once that starts happening, they're going to get a little more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely there as well, because Adam Merchant is now out in front by 3.5 seconds. Liam Kerr 1.1 behind Nathan Graham with Mac Miller as well. Mac is in the pits. He didn't even manage to get the car back. He's jumped to the pits, unfortunately for him. 10 minutes remaining here, Michael. It looks like now Merchant has got it wrapped up. Nathan Graham had to take evasive action here over Matt Miller, and I could have a look at what it looked like from Graham's point of view. I believe he's already through at this point, so it's going to be about here. There's Miller on the outside. Oh!
Wow, so close.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, so Nathan Graham had already gotten past Mac Miller, but Mac Miller must have gotten back past him somehow. But I do want to point out, Miller was having quite a few issues with the rear end of his car. Anytime he'd come out of La Source or any sort of slow turn, he would get real loose in the rear end there. So I wonder if maybe that's a part of a setup issue that he's having. He's going to have to adjust for the second race because that rear end just didn't want to sit still for him, as we saw, and obviously he ended up taking himself out because of it.
Yeah, Liam Kerr now slipping up into third place here. 11:45 on the clock. They've got basically about 9 minutes remaining of race one before we go into the reverse. Matt Miller's in the pits, Pendleton is in the pits, Banks is out, and Holitsky's out currently at the moment as well. Carl Holitsky didn't take the start. Troy Banks did, but then he stopped rather suddenly at the beginning, which was a little bit bizarre. But it is now Graham trying to, he's trying to break the DRS away from Liam Kerr. They've got to be within that second window. He's not currently out at the moment. He's 1.1, so it is going to be tough now for Liam Kerr to try and get back in if he can there, Daniel. It's one of these problems you've got with W12 racing. Your rear end wants to join your front as soon as you start hitting that pedal too hard, Daniel.
Sure, and that's the thing. You don't want to over-pedal it here on these road courses. And it's tricky in these Formula One cars. Like you mentioned, James, once that rear end starts coming around, forget about it. Your car is just going to spin around. And that's the one thing that these drivers have a hard time trying to control.
Yeah, definitely. It's a scenario that they will have to try and get used to. Nathan Graham is just hanging Liam Kerr outside the DRS zone here, Michael. And Kerr's trying. We'll give him credit. He's having a go and he's trying, but he just can't get close enough to Nathan Graham at certain points of the circuit. It seems Nathan Graham is a little bit quicker through the last part.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Nathan Graham is a little bit quicker to the last part. I am a little concerned that, and it doesn't seem to be an issue too much at the moment, but I really thought that Nathan was going to pick up some sort of front wing damage there coming past Mac Miller, but apparently he was able to escape scot-free somehow.
Yeah, he managed to squeeze through. There wasn't much of a gap, but he managed to get through the gap that was there. Aidan Young is now on the back end of Steve Rubens. We can have a look at Steve and see him driving along here as well. He has got Aidan Young closing about 7/10 back at the moment. Steve there in his rig, getting his arms all working out there as well. You can see his guns having a bit of a shake with the feedback from the wheel there. You know, I'm not really saying that looked comfortable because my force feedback isn't that strong in my little, you know, my little Thrustmaster.
Our Logitechs, our Logitechs don't.
Yeah, our Logis don't have quite that feedback there, do we? As Aidan Young goes past Steve Rubens. It's definitely giving the old bicep and chicken wings, as we call it in the UK, a good old workout for Steve Rubens there. He's having a little bit of a shake, but he's getting on, and you know, good job from him overall. But I think it's going to be a definite tough fight for Steve Rubens with that amount of force feedback. But Aidan Young is through, and he has got Steve Rubens behind him. So, you know, we just have to see how it works out, and hopefully it should work out fine. And Steve working his way through, Michael, I think it's going to be a tough job. Nathan Graham has got Liam Kerr on the back end of it now, Michael, and we're inside the DRS zone.
Yeah, Liam Kerr has just been chipping away. We know Nathan is a little stronger at the third sector here, but I don't know if that's going to matter anymore because Liam has definitely just kept him honest, kept him right there, and I think Nathan Graham is losing a little bit of pace here. He's lost about a second to Adam Merchant over the last 2 laps, so he's definitely losing a little bit of pace here. That's keeping Liam definitely in touch, and I think he's going to be able to possibly make a move coming down into Kemmel Straight here. He might be a little too far back, it might be a little too early, but he's gained a lot of time over the last lap here, about a half a second back on Nathan Graham. So we'll see what happens. He's definitely going to have DRS coming through the chicane, the bus stop chicane here and into the front pit straight there, but it's going to be very interesting to see how close he can get down the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, the DRS zone here gets activated about now. You see the line on the track, and the DRS opens up here. Kerr has got the DRS wide open. I think, to be honest, this is if I'm completely honest, I think it's just a complete pointless DRS zone. It's not even long enough to make a difference. I don't even know why it's there. They're not going to stick it on Blanchimont because of the turn situation, because obviously once you go around the turn, when you've got your Warrior Ring wide open, it's danger all the way here. I think from now, Kerr's going to have the DRS wide open again, which is more of an actual significant straight, and is actually going to make a difference to him. He's going to be sent down the long way though. Yeah, he's going to try it around the outside. Can he hold on? He's not. Ooh. Well, Daniel, that was definitely a close one there for Liam Kerr.
And then once these drivers get close to each other, it's really hard not to spin each other out due to the fact that both your driver in front of you and your current driver that's right behind you, if their wheels spinning, and once those wheels connect to each other, you're both gonna crash. And that's what's really difficult, because if you're battling side by side sometimes, which I see in Formula One a lot, is when these drivers' wheels get locked and touched into each other, is that they just keep wrecking. Can't avoid that.
No, it's literally tyre to tyre will put you up in the air. Anthony Giuliano looks like he's gone off again. Matthew Melios has also looked like they've both been adventuring off once more. So poor old Anthony Giuliano is not having a good time of it here as well. I'm wondering if this is into Lacombe again. No, it's in the bus stop this time. Is he put too many beans on the outside? Yes.
Looked good there. Oh,
no.
It looked good until he shifted in a third gear there, or fourth, whatever it was, and yeah, the rear end of that car just did not like that. So spun him out, threw him into the wall, and like you said, I think Anthony Giuliano is having a race one to forget for sure.
Yeah, Liam Kerr will pick up DRS once more here, as well as he's going up through El Rouge and Marion. This looks like could be his opportunity as well. I'll have a look and see what sort of speed he picks up under DRS. So we've got the dashboard down on the right hand side, DRS wide open, 194. Free. I'm not quite sure why he's going down. I'm a bit confused by that. I thought he would have gone up, but he's hitting about 193 miles an hour there, Daniel. Definitely a speed that I wouldn't want to be driving at in a W12 that's, well, very flimsy at best.
Yeah, I don't think these cars are very flimsy. When you look at the Montague, these things are built like tanks, really. So I mean, obviously you've got the tire tethers, so the tires don't go flying around off the track when they get hit, but these things really are, you know, other than a bunch of bits of carbon that go flying off just with blowing on them the wrong way, these things really can be tanks. I think if you're gonna have an accident at 200 miles an hour or 194 miles an hour, I think this is probably the car that I would in real life would want to be inside of.
Yeah, probably as well. It's probably going to be one of the safest. We saw it obviously with Grosjean there as well, going through the tyre barrier, didn't he? You know, that was an absolute horrendous incident. Grosjean managing to get out like at 4th degree burns on his hands was just literally incredible. So I think overall it's going to be an interesting one, and I wouldn't want to be, you know, even remotely thinking about driving these cars, and I definitely wouldn't want to be torpedoing a barrier. We are on the final lap of the race. Adam Merchant did make it through once more there as well, so it looks like it's going to be Merchant's race. He's going to be wrapping this up, I think, here as well. It's going to be job done for him, and as he comes up through El Rouge and Radion for the final time here. Daniel, Adam Merchant's done an absolute stellar job.
He's done a very stellar job here tonight. He's been very strong and dominant throughout this race. Like I mentioned on this start of the race, like I mentioned before in qualifying, you want to get a good start, because once you get a good start and you start gapping the other drivers, that's going to make it harder for them to gain on you. And my driver that I picked to win this race, Nathan Graham, also holding very strong here in 2nd place. Not bad getting a podium finish here tonight. But, I mean, Adam Merchant has just been dominating here tonight, and it's just been stellar to watch.
Yeah, absolutely as well. He's done an absolutely amazing job there as well for Adam Merchant, and out in front, flying along nicely. Liam Kerr did not get Nathan Graham down the Camel, is now going to try and get him down Blanchimont, but I think it's going to be too hard for him. We've got Merchant coming around Paul Ferrer as well. Graham, well, he's come up, he's off track, but as you see, he's just run a little bit wide out of Paul Ferrer before going down into Blanchimont. Merchant approaching the final left-hander before he goes into the bus stop. He's got a right, he's got a left. It's going to be job done for him here this evening. He's going to take the first race here tonight, which is going to put him on the back end. And currently it is going to be 1-0 to Michael David as Merchant comes across the line. Is Graham going to hang on from Liam Kerr? He is. Liam Kerr with that DRS wide open as well, comes across 1, 2, 3, and then Ricardo Serrano finishing it off behind that as well, and it is Grigor Georgiev there as well. Merchant did what he needed to do, Michael, I think, as well, and was flying along quite nicely.
Yeah, but I don't think we were too surprised. And after those Nathan Graham and Liam Kerr, and obviously if you want to throw Mac Miller before his incident, and while they were battling, that was just allowing him to get a little bit more space out, a little bit more space out, a little bit more space out. Mac Miller had his incident, then Nathan Graham and Liam Kerr were just battling it out, and that just allowed Adam Merchant to just kind of stretch his legs, get a little space between them, and just kind of coast to a victory here. I do want to point out Serrano having a very solid run, very, very, very consistent tonight so far. 4th place there for him.
Yeah, definitely. Ricardo Serrano up 4 places, the Mexican, doing an absolute stellar job. But let's bring you up the results from race 1 here, and it is now here with Adam Merchant out in front, Nathan Graham finishing in second, Liam Kerr third, Ricardo Serrano fourth, Aiden Young fifth, Steve Rubin sixth, Grigor Georgiev seventh, Anthony Giuliano eighth, Matthew Malios Jr. ninth, Matt Miller down in 10th after being off, of course, Ryan Pendleton 11th, Troy Banks 12th, and Carl Halitsky, who did not take the start, down in 13th. We have got a brief little warm-up here for these guys to get together, so we will get waiting for their warm-up. So once it kicks in, guys, and the group of things up, we will be right back.
So do you want?
Okay, guys, well, we've got the little warm-up period as well. Right, gentlemen, it's that time again, as it is 1-0 to Michael David at the moment. Knowing the full reverse grid, Michael, who are you going to pick for race 2?
I'm going with Mac Miller. I think Mac Miller is going to have a resurgence here, and starting further down the field, further up the field, really, I think he's going to have a great opportunity here to win this race.
You thief.
You asked me what I thought.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to go 2-0.
I should have put my own down first. Daniel, what do you reckon? Who's going to win race 2?
I'm going to have to stick with my driver right now. I'm going to have to stick with Nathan. I mean, he's been pretty good during the first race, so hopefully he can finish one position higher than where he finished in the first heat.
Right, okay, so I'm...
Okay, fine. Here, I'll change my answer to Aiden Young. I'll change my answer to Aiden Young. He had a rough race in the first one too. He had a bad start. He's starting fifth, I believe. Yeah, he's going to be starting fifth, so that's going to be a pretty good position for him. So I'll go ahead and switch to Aiden Young, because you have your little bromance with Mac Miller, and I don't want to get in between you guys.
Hey,
no offense, Mac. Yeah, no offense, Mac.
Yeah, just steady here. I don't want no DMs from Mac Miller telling me that, you know, what is Michael on about here. But I just can't see past Mac Miller. I think Miller's going to be quick in race 2. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think overall he's going to be, he'll take the victory. But, you know, just my idea there as well. I should have just let you carry on, really. But, you know. I got to get my boy back.
I love shooting myself in the foot, bud.
Yeah, well, you know, stole the man at the front of the field there before anybody else. So there we go. James loves Mac.
You let me go first twice.
Yeah, this is also true. I should have picked my own first, really. Elliot Borg, if you were here, it might have been a different scenario, but you're not here. So, unfortunately, I've got to get relationships going with somebody, you know, as you're not here anymore. So you're going to... Just got to suck it up. Sit in YouTube chat there, mate, and do your little bit of stewarding if you are stewarding here this evening. And hopefully we might see you back on track. But, you know, it should be an interesting one. 30 seconds to go at the end of the warm-up. Before we go out, we've got a few drivers out on track. Ryan Pendleton is trying to get this car under control. It's been a difficult evening for him here, and I think one that's, yeah, it's been tough for a couple of drivers.
That's a good rebound. Elliot Borg in the chat. You're cracking me up, Elliot. He says he's glad you found a good rebound.
Well, I'm not even going to justify that with a response, Elliot Borg. I'll tell you that much. I'm not even going to justify it. I just can't do it. Come and have a word with me in the booth. Anyway, what are you doing in YouTube chat? Get yourself in here.
Yeah, where is Elliot tonight? Why isn't he racing tonight?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably sat at home drinking a beer and eating McDonald's. Who knows?
Well, here we go.
Yeah, Carl Halitsky might be on pole if he comes out for race 2, but I think it's going to be Troy Banks, Ryan Pendleton, Matt Miller, Matthew Malios, Anthony Giuliano, Grigor Georgiev, Steve Rubens, Aidan Young, Ricardo Serrano, Liam Kerr, Nathan Graham, and then Adam Marchant is going to be at the back end of the field and rounding it out here once more. And it is, I don't think Carl Halitsky or Troy Banks is going to take the start here. I think it's going to be all on third place Ryan Pendleton. I've got a funny feeling, I'm not entirely sure where Halitsky's gone, or Troy Banks, to be honest, but both of them I don't think are going to take the start. And we're just waiting for Matt Miller, and then we are going to be underway here once more. Everybody on the soft tyres. It is going to be Pendleton out on pole position currently in the moment. The lights are going to be coming on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're green, and away we go. Look at the start from the boys at the back. Liam Kerr, Aidan Young, Adam Merchant. Matt Miller's got an absolute flyer and is flying off down here, trying to get into first place. Pendleton gets through. LaSource a lot better than Miller did, but at the moment, Liam Kerr, Aidan Young up 5. Liam Kerr up 5, Aidan Young up 2. Nathan Graham up 3, Adam Merchant 3 as well. Don't forget that's helped by the 2 guys that are not taking the start, but it is going to be Matt Miller is going to take the run down into Lacoon now. We're going to be side by side. Miller sweeps round Ryan Pendleton. Job done for him. Steve Rubens take a little bit of a diver off track as well. Liam Kerr blinking. That's not going to help whatsoever here for some of these drivers as well. But everybody currently, Michael, through nicely.
Yeah, that was a really clean start there, and I don't think it's Liam Kerr that's blinking. I think it was Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Pendleton's blinking quite a bit there. So that made that pass even more impressive there for Mac Miller to get around a car that he could only see for a moment and then it'd be gone and then be there again. So that was a really impressive move there. Great start by Mac Miller. Obviously, Ryan Pendleton got an even better exit out of Lacombe, but with the draft coming up through the Kemmel Straight there, Mac Miller was able to make that move happen. And then as we see here, Liam Kerr all the way up into 4th place. What a start by Liam as we follow along here. And he's trying to make a move on Anthony Giuliano. He's not going to be able to get it coming into... I thought he was going to be able to make that move, but no, he had to back out of there. And now he's going to go for the outside here.
Yeah, he's going to try to take the outside line through the bus stop. Sweeps around the outside. Liam Kerr is through.
There's a big hit.
Oh...
Serrano.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling Nathan Graham was involved with this one as well.
Not my driver.
Yeah, Nathan Graham's on the right hand side. They're 3 wide in the bus stop. Oh,
that was a hard hit.
Man, what are they? The thing is, right, I'm not being rude here, and maybe I'm just being overzealous with the occasion, but who would go 3 wide into the bus stop? Serrano, you kind of got to hold on a little bit there, mate. I got to be honest. I don't know if that was your line there, bud. Unfortunately, Georgiev had nowhere to go. You went upside down. I think that's what we were talking about with Serrano, that consistency that he hasn't got, Michael. You can't go 3 wide in the bus stop. Absolutely insane mistake to make, and I'm hoping one that Ricardo Serrano will learn from.
Yeah, well, we saw him in the first race being nice and consistent, so I think he is learning from a lot of these mistakes. But that was a very bold move, especially on cold tires on lap 1. He probably wants to have that one back. But, I mean, it is what it is. These things do happen, and he was the one that, suffered the most from the incident. So I guess that kind of worked out in the long run. But at the same time, you never want to see a driver out so early. So hopefully he's able to use that fast repair and get back on track here. He wasn't too far away from the pits, so even if he did have to tow, it wouldn't have been a long tow. But we see here Steve Rubens trying to make some leeway here, trying to get past Georgiev, who was involved in that. I assume Georgiev's probably got some sort of damage, but Steve Rubens is able to make that move pretty easily coming into the bus stop chicane, and he had to back out there, so he he let Georgiev get on, get back out.
Georgiev did get the position away from him there as well. So Georgiev still manages to hold on. Matthew Malios and Nathan Graham. I think something's happened to Pendleton, I believe it is, as he comes around turn, into La Source. I don't know if he's had somebody said to him, "Hey son, you're blinking quite a lot here," literally. So Nathan Graham, Matthew Malios, and here as well with Adam Merchants in the mix as they're going into Lacombe once more. Malios in the blue, Graham in the yellow and black. Merchant is going. Anthony Giuliano and Lacombe are not going together. If there's ever a part of the track that Anthony Giuliano is not liking about now, it is Lacombe. But it's such an integral part here, Daniel, that I think he needs to try and go out and get it correct.
I think he is going to have to try out and get it correct here. And I want to go back to that 3 wide. I don't know why you would go 3 wide in the beginning of this race. I don't know why you would do that in the first place, but I think it was just a bold move, and he needs to learn from his mistakes. But what about your guy? I mean, Miller, he's just dominating here, and he's still in first place, and nobody's catching up to him. And I was going to pick him. I'm going to be honest, James. I was going to pick Miller, but my gut trusted with Nathan, and right now my driver's in 6th, and we still got a long way to go here, but I see these drivers, and this heat is a little more exciting as you see these drivers battling back and forth and side by side here.
Steve Rubens and Gregor Georgiev are still going at it further down the order. Steve Rubens now in 7th, up 1, Georgiev down 1, Malios down 1 as well, Pendleton down 6 currently at the moment. He's not back out on track. I think he's out. Giuliano and Serrano's in the pits earlier on incident there as well. Graham looks like he should get DRS this time around as well. The lights are on, his activation lights. There we go, he's wide open, but he's just hanging on to DRS there, Michael, and he's got to try and get closer.
Yeah, he's way too far back to make a move in the Lacombe here. He's just trying to keep touch here with Adam Merchant, keep him honest, but Adam Merchant is definitely on a mission here. He is trying to get up to the back of Aiden Young. He's trying to get DRS help himself. Aiden Young is just moving along here, and Liam Kerr up there in 2nd place. These guys are running really clean races here. This is the same top 5 that we saw at the beginning of the first race, just in a little bit of a different order here. But I think that's kind of what we expected, to be completely honest. These guys are just absolutely the class of the field tonight. We've seen it all night, even in qualifying and in practice. They were all within less than a second of each other. I think it was about half a second or 6/10. They were all within the 41s there at the end of qualifying, so they all got a lot of pace. But it's going to be interesting to see who's able to continue moving up the field. I think Adam Merchant's definitely got the most pace, but does he have the racecraft to get on the podium?
We were going to find out. He's got Aiden Young in front of him. He's got Nathan Graham behind him. 2 very quick individuals, of course. Don't forget, to put us to shame here, Elliot Borg, sitting in YouTube chat. Aiden Young is only 13 and a half years of age and is literally a 5.1k iRating and drives cars in real life at the age of 13. Not gonna lie, I was still playing with Action Man at the age of 13. I had no interest in cars whatsoever. So for Aiden Young, he's doing an absolutely stellar job. I don't know about you, Daniel. What were you doing at the age of 13?
Well, I was at the age of 13. I was just watching TV and playing old NASCAR games. I wasn't actually going out and racing when I was 13. I mean, I wish I could. I wish I could race right now in real life, but it's so expensive. But I enjoy doing this stuff more.
Yeah, Michael, what about you? What were you doing at the age of 13, bud?
Picking my nose and trying to learn how to read, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I wasn't a very active child. But if you were to tell me that you were in your 40s right now and still playing with action figures, I would believe that too. So.
Oh, do you know what, right? You pick on me, right? I am in my 40s. I'm 44, 45 in August, right? The thing I do is obviously, lucky enough we're not on camera, behind me is I build Lego, like Star Wars Lego and stuff like that. So I've got a full shelf of Star Wars Lego behind me currently here as well.
We need to talk about this a little bit, because I have a half-built 911 RSR sitting to my right and a couple X-Wings and an A-Wing sitting behind me to my left here. So I'm right there with you. I love Legos.
Yeah, exactly. I think Lego's the way to go. My AT-AT looks amazing. My Millennium Falcon looks incredible. And yeah, you know, it's something I was doing, but I do that now, to be honest. It's my relaxation to move away from the fact that I'm broadcasting. What about you, Dad? Do you build Lego?
Oh yeah, I still have Lego sets that I still build. I mean, whenever I'm bored and whatnot, I still like playing with Legos. I don't know, I just think it's like a calm, relaxing thing.
Yeah. I completely agree. I don't know if I'd want to watch a video though. I don't know if I could go out on camera and go, right, I'm going to build Lego, guys, come and sit and watch. I think people might get completely bored of that. I've got to be honest, considering most are hearing my voice talking about racing. But Nathan Graham,
that's a thing on YouTube though, I would assume, right? Lego builders?
Yeah, I believe there is. I would assume. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, apparently if you can search Lego builds, there's people building them.
I mean, I still have my first Lego house that I built when I was like 8, and whenever my parents moved it, I would literally scream saying, "Don't move it," because I don't want it to get like demolished. So I still have it with me, and it's literally on top of my dresser right now.
Well, there you go. Don't worry, guys, there is a race going on, and we will commentate on the race. Nathan Graham has got to go off a little bit of tangent about Lego and Star Wars Lego here. Nathan Graham has moved within 6 tenths of Adam Merchant. I think the DRS is really helping Nathan Graham here as well. Liam Kerr is slowly edging out a gap over Matt Miller. Now he's trying to close it down. He's got it down from 2.6 to 2 seconds. So he is currently flying along here as well. So he's slowly edging that gap. Aiden Young is kind of stuck in no man's land. He's not really making an impression on the guy in front, but he's managing to stay in front of Adam Merchant behind him. Only just as well. Merchant's closing that gap down as well. So we could end up with a freeway between Young, Merchant and Nathan Graham here. And I think Graham's going to be in prime position here, Michael, going up through El Rouge and Radion currently at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely getting really, really close here, and he's going to have a solid DRS opportunity. I still think he's just a little too far back to make a move here through Lacombe, but he could prove me wrong here as he opens up the wing here. We'll see how close he's able to get, but I think Adam Merchant is just able to keep him just far enough away that DRS is just not going to be able to get him by.
Yeah, definitely not. He's not made a move this time. He did take out about 4 tenths out of him going down that straightaway. He has got to try and stay a little bit closer through the final 2 sectors, which I don't think he's managing to get on. Adam Merchant here looks like he's got up this middle part and this last part of Rivage Fagnier and down in through Paul Ferrer and on the run down out of Blanchimont. He's just got a little bit too much for Nathan Graham, I think. I don't think Graham can quite hang on close enough to him. Staying within the DRS zone, but only just. Merchant is closing on Young. Young is closing on Kerr. Kerr has taken a massive amount out of Matt Miller that last time around. 145.3, 145.9 for Matt Miller. He took 6 tenths out of him here, Daniel. Could Liam Kerr get him at the end of the race?
You never know what's going to happen here, James. It is a wild card event right now. So from second place, as we're looking at the stats right now, he is gaining a little bit on Miller in first place. And I don't know if that's because Miller used up his tire wear now, or it's just that the second place car right now is just using the DRS as much as possible just to get as much draft to gain up to the first position driver and possibly pass him towards this win. But I mean, the time is ticking and it's time to go if you want to start trying to compete for a win.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 of these guys behind him are going to be in DRS zone. Aiden Young has got it over Liam Kerr. Liam Kerr has slowly got it over the back of Matt Miller. It's all about these guys are going to be closing right on top of each other very, very shortly in this 5-way fight that we're going to have here for the lead. Kerr's now back out at 1.7. Matthew Malios has had a bit of a horrendous time, but there you can just see Liam Kerr, Aiden Young, Adam Merchant and Graham all closing up here, Michael. This is going to get interesting as we go into the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, this could go one of 2 ways. It could bring these guys in closer and we can have an awesome 5-way battle here for the podium. or they could start building up a DRS train and just kind of get stuck there. I think this is really playing into Adam Merchant's hand, though. He's really been able to take chunks of time out of Aiden Young, and even though, yeah, Nathan Graham has been holding on to the back of him to keeping him honest, Adam Merchant has just been moving forward and forward and forward, and I think it's really going to become a battle here really, really quickly. I think coming into Lacombe this time around, I think Adam Merchant is going to be close enough to make a move, or at least attempt to move on Aiden Young. This is going to be real interesting on this lap right here.
Yeah, they have got that little DRS zone coming out of the bus stop down into La Source, which I'm still under the impression it's a completely pointless DRS zone on a race circuit that's got, you know, straights such as Blanchimont. But as we say, you're not going to want to put DRS on a straight with corners on, because it just can lead to the cars going around like an absolute wind tunnel. They have all got DRS open. Again, not really making improvements on each other. Merchant has got Graham half a second back here currently. Daniel, what do we reckon? Is there going to be a move down into Lagoon?
I think we are going to start seeing these drivers now that they're all bunched up to each other. I think we're going to start seeing passes being made and whatnot, and could potentially upset Miller for another driver to possibly win here tonight in this race. Now, as you see, in 5th place right now, Nathan Graham, he's still holding on strong, getting the top 5 finish. But something tells me that 4th place car right now of Merchant is just waiting for the right time. But he's going to have to stay really close if he's going to want to have a shot here. But don't forget, if the first 2 or 3 make a mistake, that's all it takes for the driver behind you to get that win.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see Miller make a mistake in race 1 or 2, of course, coming out of Marmaduke. He did go onto the curb, spun the back wheels up. Nathan Graham just about missed it by an inch here. That was literally about an inch. I think we can all agree that was kind of an inch, that if he'd basically gone any more to the right, he would have hit Miller. If he went any more to the left, he would have hit the wall. And he did, well, somehow, Michael, he managed to get away without damage there, didn't he?
Yeah, I still don't understand how he got away with damage, even with the little netcode damage, because that was just, I mean, watching the replay from his point of view, I don't see how he didn't get some sort of front wing damage. And maybe he did, it just was not substantial, but that was as close of a call as you can possibly have. And this is going to be really interesting here, because Aiden Young is definitely closing that gap on Liam Kerr. This is going to be a real tight. If Aiden is able to get a really solid exit out of Lacombe, it's going to be a great opportunity down the straight.
Yeah, he's just come out of La Source. Adam Young here with Kerr in front, Merchant, Graham, all within DRS zone. We could end up seeing a DRS train, unfortunately for Liam Kerr. He has not got anything. He's 1.4 seconds back from Matt Miller. Here comes Aiden Young, the DRS wide open. Where is Kerr gone? Kerr's gone to the left. He didn't really know where he's going to be. He is going to be through now. And it's going to be over and done. Aiden Young is through on Liam Kerr. Merchant managed to hang on from Graham there, but that must have been a difficult situation for Aiden Young there, Daniel, because at that moment he went to go past, Liam Kerr disappeared.
And with now Aiden Young now sitting in 2nd place, now he's going to start charging for the front, trying to attack Miller here. As you see, Miller still has a comfortable lead, but something tells me that Aiden Young has put the foot to the metal now as he passed Kerr there for 2nd place. But keep a close eye on that 2nd place car. I don't think it's done yet, guys.
No, definitely not. I think Liam Kerr is going to come back out with Adam Merchant and Nathan Graham, all within the DRS window. 1.4 seconds over Miller at the moment, and unfortunately Liam Kerr is blinking around a little bit, causing a little bit of problem for these guys. But it is as they go down through Blanchimont now. They're going to go round the right, down through the left, coming into the bus stop. Who's going to be able to get closed up? It's going to be that exit out that bus stop with the DRS activation zone on the inside. They will have DRS wide open as they're going down into La Source. They're all bunching up like a accordion now. Unfortunately, here we go. Is this going to see a DRS train, Michael? What do we reckon is going to happen?
No, I think Adam Merchant's going to have an opportunity to make a move here on Liam Kerr this time. Nathan Graham locking up just to barely keep out of the rear end of Adam Merchant there. So great save there by Nathan Graham, but that was really close coming into the bus stop chicane. But we should see Adam Merchant, once he gets this DRS open, he should have a really good chance here. He's only 4/10 back.
Kerr's going to have the DRS open as well, though. They're all going to have DRS open, aren't they? Kerr's going to have
a
it.
Train, like you said.
It's going to be a bit of a train going down, and Aiden, the poor person at the front, is not going to be able to get away from the fact that he's got cars 4 temps back, 5 temps back, and 4 temps back again. So these guys are going to be having this tremendous battle. We're going to be on the last lap this time around. So it's going to be definitely an interesting one here, Daniel, as well. Do we think this front queue are going to change order, or do we think the DRS train is going to provide? Miller's now lost a bit of time. He's lost a bit of time.
Miller had a mistake there.
Yeah, he's down 3 temps back. What do we reckon, Dan?
This is going to be anybody's race between Miller and Young here. If Miller makes one more mistake, it's over for Miller. I think Young's going to get by him, but Miller's still holding on there strong, but I think Young has one more chance here. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Miller's just pulling away a little bit at this point. I think Miller's got it in the bag now, but I think Young was a really strong driver here tonight. I don't know about you guys, but if we had maybe 1 or 2 more laps, I think Young would have been there. But now Young is under attack from Kerr. Sitting in 3rd place. It looks like they're going to be side by side almost.
Yeah, trying to go through the bus stop now. They're going to have 1 more lap. It's going to be 1 more lap for all of these guys. Every single person is going to have DRS apart from poor old Matt Miller at the front.
There goes Liam.
Kurt's dived him. Why would you dive so early? I don't understand. You're not going to get DRS. I don't get it. I don't think that would have been a move. I think he should have held on. Oh, he's got round.
It's a huge hit.
Kerr's gone. Merchant's going to come at Young now, going down into Lacombe. This is going to be Miller's race. I think Miller's opened up the 1 second gap. Merchant's come through. Young's gone down to 3rd. Graham's now going to have a go as well. It's like the 3 banana splits here, having a race on the racetrack. It's unbelievable. The yellow car out in force here this evening, Michael.
Yeah, that was insane to see that accident. I think you're right. I'm really confused why Kerr decided to make that move there instead of just waiting for the DRS chain to give it to him. Maybe he thought that possibly since Young was going to get it from Miller, that it was going to make it harder. But yeah, it's such a great opportunity there to just kind of sit back and just wait for the right moment. He was clearly faster there. And that left Adam Young out, cold there for Adam Merchant. He was a sitting duck, had no opportunity to really defend there. So Adam Merchant was able to get the pass done, and Nathan Graham was really close to making a second move there on him coming into Lacombe. But I think this is going to be Mac Miller's race to lose at this point. Unless he makes a huge mistake out of the bus stop chicane, he should be safe. He's just far enough ahead of Adam Merchant. I think if 1 more lap was to come around, though, I think Adam Merchant would have had this.
Yeah, definitely. Here comes Miller. He's going to cross the line. Here comes Merchant, Young, and Graham. They're going to be about 1.3 seconds apart. Here's going to be Miller, Merchant, Young, and Graham. And wow, that is what incredible racing, Dan.
I really don't know what to say. I think that was a speechless. Honestly, I was freaking speechless. I don't know why you would do a crossover move on the last lap when you had DRS literally right in front of you where you could have had a better shot. But I mean, hey, sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And maybe, these drivers don't think on the last lap, as you see here. We're on board here on the final lap here, as you see. It just came around on me. It was a hard hit.
He almost took out Nathan Graham there, too.
Yeah. Oh, man, if you took out Nathan Graham, that would have been... I don't know what...
I didn't see that the first time live.
I think we need to go on board here.
Yeah, going to have a look now on the left front. You can see Kerr coming down into El Rouge. And literally, he just randomly snaps, which is just so...
Right over the rumble strips.
Yeah, he took the rumble strip, didn't get the car settled, snapped the other way.
Was there maybe a little bit of net code? Can we go from the front end there of Aiden Young see if maybe there's a bit of net cone?
Oh, baby. I don't know how Nathan got through there. Oh, my gosh. Look at the hard impact there, too. Yeah. I mean, the whole front is just destroyed. But, I mean, like I was saying, you just got to go for it sometimes,
Yeah, I don't know if I would have gotten that early on. I don't think there was net code off Aiden Young. I think they missed each other here. You can see them side by side. If that is remotely anything, he just turned left. He didn't have any.
You were right.
Yeah, he just didn't have any grip. And
we should go on. I think we should go on board with Nathan. See what he saw there when
Well, I think he probably is going to see some brown pants, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely a code brown there.
Yeah, because Kurt's up front. You see him here.
And you just got to stay on the throttle, and he just jumps right across. And, ooh, that's a heart attack moment if there ever was one.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a change.
Yeah, I think there is going to be some form of change of underwear there for Nathan Graham. But here are the results from the feature race. Matt Miller out in front, Adam Merchant second, Nathan Graham third, Steve Rubens fourth, Grigor Georgiev fifth, Aidan Young down in sixth, Matthew Malios seventh, Liam Kerr eighth, Aidan Young sixth.
Did he catch a penalty there?
Yeah,
he might have caught a penalty, I would assume.
Yeah, there, Liam Kerr.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, Malios 7th, Kerr 8th, Giuliano 9th, Pendleton 10th, Serrano 11th, Halitsky and Banks didn't take to the start here as well. But let's bring in your winner of race 2, Matt Miller, into the booth. Mac, how are you, sir?
Good to be back, fellas. Good to be back.
Yeah, good to see you again, bud. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
All right, so race 2. That went well. Yeah?
Yeah, race 2 went pretty well.
Okay, managed to stay in front. Did you worry? Did you think you were going to get caught?
Towards the end, I had a little moment, and I think I lost about a second, so that kind of lit a fire under me, but I was more or less just pacing myself. I'm sure you guys caught my not so graceful exit from race 1. So just looking after the tires, really making sure I don't melt the rears again and, spin out, and still almost managed to do so. So just really pacing myself race 2.
Yeah, well, you did an absolute stellar job there as well. The gap did close right the way down, took the lead quite earlier on, led all the way through. Stellar job from you. What's the plan for Mac this season? Are we going to see Mac on track?
I'm going to do my best to get back. Trying to get into GT3s again, so it's difficult for me to do these two very different types of cars, but I'll do what I can.
No, you've done an absolute stellar job. It was good to see you on track. I'd like to point out as well, Mac, that I did pick you for race 2 as the winner. Well, actually, Michael had you originally, and then Michael changed over to Aidan Young, and then so I grabbed
to
you.
allow you to take Mac Miller.
Yes, but that's because I thought Mac was going to win. I've seen Mac previously; he's incredibly quick. So there we go. But there we go, Mac. Overall, not a bad evening of racing. Well done. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Shout out to Jay. I know he couldn't make it tonight, but he requested that I race so we could get a good broadcast. So hopefully I did that for you, Jay. Shout out to Nathan, Adam. Who else am I forgetting? Liam was up there. Really, really good race up front, guys. That was fun.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And hopefully we'll look forward to chatting to you as the season goes on.
That's all.
Take care. Right, let's bring Adam Merchant in to the booth here as well. Your winner of race 1, second in race 2. Not a bad evening of racing. A little bit more difficult tonight, Mr. Merchant, than it was last week at Silverstone.
Yes, sir. Hope everybody's doing well in this booth. Thanks for commentating. But the first race, yeah, definitely pretty great. I was really surprised with the pace of the drivers right behind me on that first lap. Kept me on my toes for sure. But that second race, I learned from my mistake in Silverstone, the incident I had taking out my front wing, needing to pit. So kept it safe, but the heart rate was definitely not lower.
Yeah, it definitely was there as well. You were having a nice little DRS train battle at one point there as well. An incredible, race all the way through race 2. What, going forward now as well, we've still got 2 more races of the recruitment season before we open it up into round 1 on I think it was June at some point we're going in here as well. What are we expecting from you? You've come into the series new. You've shown epic pace here. Are we? What's the expectations for us up here in the booth to watch you?
Well, honestly, I didn't really set any expectations going into Silverstone, but ideally, I want to win every single race. That's the goal. But obviously, the goal is to win the championship. That's the bigger priority for this recruitment series. So, just really depends. in the first race, I played it safe. I didn't want to, spin out. This track is pretty difficult when it comes to tire deg and the rear coming out. So for me, it's just stay on track and just play each race as its own.
Wow, you did definitely that, so as well. So well done to you. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to my parents who are actually watching this stream now, and my dog Lola. Whenever I have questions about racing, I just go to her. And then my boys Starboxer and Joker. That was my 2 friends when I played video games, so they're watching as well.
Sorry, you go to your dog?
Yes. Yeah. I practice a bit. I'll go. She lives with my parents, so I'll drive over to their place, hang out with her, and we just, we communicate. She tells me what to do.
Okay, so you are a real life Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, she we basically speak the same language, so.
Well, yeah. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Adam, for joining us there, bud, as well. And welcome in, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant. I hope you are well, if you are watching. Adam, thank you so much for joining us, bud, and we look forward to having a chat with you next week.
Thank you.
Take care.
Talk to you guys soon.
All right, and the third place man here, Nathan Graham. How are you, Nathan?
Good. What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
Thanks, you're good. Been a bit since I've raced, so it's been good to get back on the wheel here.
Yeah, there's some epic competition this season, and they're already, if this is looking well for the recruitment.
Yeah, it's awesome, yeah.
Going forward, though, I've got to ask you a question. When Liam Kerr went off and he missed you by an inch, how did that work out for you in the car?
Well, are you talking about Mac the first race or this second one?
Well, both. You could talk. Let's have a chat about Max because I forgot about that one. You missed him by an inch.
That one was extremely tight. Yeah, I was just like, oh, please have a gap. And I actually got a 4X for that, so I think I actually technically hit him or netcode or something. And then Liam's, I actually didn't really see that one as much because that was coming up a Rouge or something, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming up through a Rouge into Rodillion.
That one, I didn't know he was going to barely hit me until all of a sudden I heard a engine right behind me. I was like, oh, shit, that was close.
Oh, language.
Oh, crap. Crap.
Language.
Oh, shucks.
Shucks. I said, there we go. Apologies there, everyone. They forget a bit excited. Yeah, it was definitely close, mate. We looked on the front wing of Liam Kerr and he missed you, mate, by inches. It was incredible how close you are. What are we expecting here? Is Nathan Graham going to come and join us for the season? Is that a question that we've got to ask because that's the answer we want?
Yeah, so I would absolutely be joining if it weren't for I'm gonna actually be leaving for a few months. So I'm gonna miss this season and I'll get you the next season.
Oh. All right. Are we going to see you next week?
Let's see. No, next week I'll be gone.
Oh man.
Wait, so no GT3 either? You're not going to be riding the Audi this season either?
No. Yeah, I will not be able to drive until November.
Am I going to? Am I going to presume deployment?
Potentially.
Oh well.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
I hope it all goes well. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, part-time pros. Good to have Ryan Pendleton with us today too. He had some problems with his server, so he just pulled over just to make sure he didn't hit anybody with one of the net codes or something. But yeah, good to have part-time pros here, and then just the wife for letting me race.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Nate. Good luck. I hope everything goes well for you, bud. We'll look forward to talking to you when we can.
That's right. Yeah, I'll be watching.
Take care, man.
Bye.
All right, and next up is the the man that struggled this evening, swapped over to triple screens, comes and joins me. We have a chat before while he's driving around in practice. Didn't like Lacombe, didn't like it throughout the race, but Mr. Anthony Giuliano, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm about 2 steps away from throwing 3 monitors in the lake, but, other than that, I'm just fantastic,
All right, tell us the story. Why have we switched from VR to triples?
Well, I was afraid I was going to go blind, I don't know why, but I just figured for the clarity to go back to triples or go to triples and try it out. But the loss of depth perception, man, it is drastically different. This is my first night racing, or actually my second night racing with these, and my last 2 races have been absolutely atrocious. So I'm hoping I can pick it up in the recruitment. If not, I will put the headset back on because my last 2 races of the real season were my best 2. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, going forward now as well.
Yeah.
Jennifer has put in YouTube, deep breaths, no throwing monitors.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try not to because I've taken up at least 50% of her office with my monitors now, and she's a good sport for letting me sit up here and take up as much room as I do with my quote unquote toy. So appreciate her and watching. I appreciate what you guys are doing, and it's a lot of fun. Just it'll take some time to get used to.
Yeah, definitely will there as well. Now, talking about if anyone wants to join the league, how do they go about it now? Because obviously we're in the recruitment stages.
Yeah, we still got 2 weeks left. We got 2 races left in the recruitment season. Again, it's still going to be 2 20-minute races. Inverted field on the second one. All I got to do is get with us in Discord or send a league request through iRacing. So just look up LSRL. In iRacing, you'll see about 5 different series that we have. Select the Formula One or GT3, NASCAR, whichever one you want to be a part of, and we'll bring you in. All 3 are in recruiting phases right now. So come on in and join us. And if you're good enough to hold your stuff on the track, then we'll let you into the league for the 14-lap season and go from there.
14 lap or 14 week?
I'm sorry, 14 weeks. Sorry about that.
That's all right,
I'm looking at laps while I'm talking here. I'm looking at the last laps. Heck of a good race at the end, though. I went in the booth with you guys, but I mean, 5 guys DRS train looked pretty stout.
Yeah, it did. It was a good one. And then Liam Kerr unfortunately dropped out of it as well, up El Rouge and Radion. No spoilers for you, but I've just probably told you what happened. But going forward, Anthony, as well.
I looked at it, by the way. Probably the worst netcode I've ever seen on iRacing.
Well,
that was really, really bad.
Yeah, they were quite far away from each other. So I don't know if Kerr lost it on the right turn either there. So I'm going to have a look back and have a look. But
yeah, no, it was netcode 100%. It was seriously bad netcode because he was holding it and it immediately just snapped on him for no reason. So not his fault. That's just a tough place to try to pass. I probably would have stayed behind and took the DRS on the straight, but tough one because he was fast.
Yeah, that's what we said as well. I was surprised he did make that move, to be honest, there as well. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. But anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go? Maybe the wife?
Oh, absolutely. Jennifer keeps it running. She's the real owner of what we do here. Shout out to Joe Murata, the other owner of the league. Elliot Borg, Tomas,
Dylan,
Jay Smart. I know Jay Smart's watching. Hope you get better soon, buddy. Obviously, Dylan Gonis, another one of our admins that's been here from the start. So without those guys, we couldn't make it happen. Thanks to you guys as well.
Awesome stuff. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And we'll look forward to catching you up probably next week, hopefully.
Sounds good, buddy. Y'all take care.
Take care. Well, there you go, guys. Don't forget, we are at Sebring next week as well. So come along for that one because it is going to be an absolute epic evening of racing. Michael, your thoughts on this race first?
Yeah, definitely a race of attrition. We saw a lot of tire dead going into those last final laps there. A little bit of netcode, according to Anthony. I'm not sure if I agree with him or not, but that was definitely a heck of an incident there for Liam right there at the end of the race for Liam Kerr. But, I mean, it's tough, but we see that there's a lot of drivers here that are extremely fast, and it's going to be very exciting once this recruitment season's over and we get into the real deal.
Yeah, definitely. Daniel as well, thank you so much for joining us for the first time here, bud. Well, how did you find it?
Well, I found it very interesting. You know, I am a stock car person. Hopefully, I get to come in and broadcast with you guys more on these Formula One races. I'm also looking forward to possibly doing some NASCAR races here too with you guys. So either way, I enjoy both series. Formula One tonight, I thought it was very entertaining to watch. See these drivers battle side by side, see them use their DRS, get in the draft, try to catch up to the leader. But it's very different compared to what I watched. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Dylan in the chat, get some sleep, James. Cheers, buddy. The problem with that, Dylan, is I slept before I come on air. Now, the problem is I'm wide awake now, so the chances of me going to sleep are very minimal at this moment in time, because I'd sat down with the missus about 9 o'clock, Michael, and we sat there and we said, come on, love, let's watch. She put on Harry Potter, I think it was the first one, and both of us lasted about 10 minutes, and then we both fell asleep, and then I woke up at the end. So yeah, I've had me 2.5 hours.
Well, that's good to know, because there was an incident where you did kind of the same thing but didn't wake up. So glad to know that. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you nasty man!
I gotta throw you under the bus. So it's nice to. No, man. That's. I'll keep my mouth shut for the rest of the night now.
Yeah, good job there as well.
Done enough damage.
Yeah,
There we go.
God blimey. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me in the booth. It's been an absolute pleasure. But thank you to everyone as well. Jay Smart, Elliot Bogg there as well. Jennifer joining us at the end. Oh, brought up the Watkins Glen. How dare he? I know Dylan. Criminal there as well. Throwing me out like I didn't even exist. God, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Look, it wasn't my fault, okay? I didn't set an alarm. I fell asleep. I woke up at 5 a.m. in a panic. Too late by that point. But look, guys, it's been an absolute epic evening of racing. Thank you so much for joining us. From all of us up here in the booth as well. As always, guys, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.